Hello and welcome. This is Planet Coaster2 and this is my third video in this game. So what are we going to do today? Well, you may remember in the last two episodes we built this big hill where we built tons and tons of slides. We built a racing slide and what I now call the spaghetti slides on the one side. So I looked at Google Earth at water parks and I was struck by how compact they actually are. And so I thought, well, actually what we've built so far is already quite sprawling compared to the real world. So I thought, well, if you walk all this way up that hill to get to those slides, there should be something else, because it's quite a long way to walk. And so I decided to create a plaza. It's just a small plaza. We put down 2 or 3 food stalls, some toilets, some seating possibilities, and yeah, that's basically it. But it marks the beginning of the build of our very first guest facilities. So a few things about that. So far the only thing I've done in the game was build slides and experimented a bit with swimming pools. So in this build, for the first time, I'm actually trying to figure out all the pieces, all the things you can do in this game. So I'm afraid you're gonna see a lot of searching through different menus. I'm gonna cut that down to a minimum if I can. But yeah, I have to say I'm really happy with what they've provided us. Like many other people say, Planet Coaster, Planet Zoo, all these games are essentially like a big Lego set. And you are giving lots of different parts and pieces, and you can basically do whatever you want with them. Problem in the old game has always been that these pieces were very large and often highly themed, so they weren't really as flexible. I do feel they've addressed that quite a lot. These pieces all seem a lot more generic, and whilst the scale is still, as you can see here, the toilets are huge, a bit on the large side, we now have the scaling tool, which helps a lot to bring things down to a bit of a more normal size, let's call it. So we are currently building the toilet. It's just a small toilet block consisting of 2 separate toilets. I've put up signs later on for men and women. Of course this doesn't work in game. Everybody just uses all the toilets, but it's just, you know, to make it a bit more realistic. Put down lots of foliage and a lot of rocks and tiny little things. You know, when you're new to this game and you scroll through, you see all these pieces and you think, oh my god, oh that's great, I want to use it, and you just want to use everything you find. So it's I wouldn't call it cluttered, but there's a lot of stuff going on at the end. You will see. I thought long and hard of how to create the food stalls, and I saw that we now have the option to just put down the counter and nothing else. So I found some pieces that I thought fit the counters perfectly. At that point my 12-year-old son walked in and I showed it to him, and you will see later on there's a van, and he saw the van and he immediately said, well, that's gotta be an ice cream van. So we did that, and then we created like a tuk-tuk kind of thing, and he was of the opinion that that should be a pizza place. So that's what we did there. Because we didn't have any drinks, I just put down some vending machines, and then we put down some seating. So you can see now I'm starting to slowly figure out the pieces, look at all the stuff that's available, and see what I can slap onto this building to make it look less like a box and a bit more interesting for everyone. The theming is, in my opinion, very generic. I wanted to have a bit of a beach jungle vibe, but nothing specific. I don't know if we're gonna keep this throughout the park or whether we'll create different areas with different theming. We'll see about that. Maybe at some point I'll get bored of all the wood and straw and all that stuff, and I want to try something else. Wouldn't be very unrealistic. Some parks do have different areas with different themes, and I would be quite happy to replicate that here. So yeah, that's basically the video. I'll leave you now with the rest of the time lapse, and then once we are done, I'll come back to you and we'll have a look at the final result. Okay, so here we are. You can see the hill that we created in the last 2 episodes with all the slides. And as you can see, the path here on the left is quite long. So I'm still considering to put something in this area here, maybe a kiddie area with some shorter kiddie slides that also end up in this pool down here. So to make it worthwhile to walk up here, we created this small plaza. As you can see, I changed the chairs and tables. Initially I thought, well, a theme park would probably use plastic. It's cheap and easy to clean, but yeah, with all that theming it just didn't look right. So I decided to swap it for these, and I think it looks much better. I also changed the pathing to set it off from the normal path to create more of a plaza feel. And we have those 2 food stalls here, some vending machines, and of course the toilets. The path is now gonna go down the other side of the hill into the back side of the park. I am considering to put down some kind of a ride that leads down into that part of the park. So this path is probably gonna change to interact with that ride, and it would give the guests an opportunity to take a ride down the hill into the other side of the park instead of just walking there. The park itself is still closed because I still don't know what to do here at the beginning. Like I said earlier, I would love to have a lazy river that functions as a transport ride, so that runs through the entire park with different areas to get off and on. So it would have to go past here at the beginning, so I don't know, I need to figure out how we're gonna do this with an entry plaza and all that stuff. So I'm gonna leave this for now. The park remains closed, and once I figure it out we can try and do something here. So yes, that is it. As you can see, we have a hill with lots of slides and a small plaza, and that's it so far. And still a lot of detailing to do here, but slowly but surely we're getting somewhere. And that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Until then, all the best. Bye bye.